This is a HeadGum podcast.
Fake the Nation, episode 453.
Hello. This is Fake the Nation, where we talk about news, we talk about politics, and where we enjoy spring break. I'm your host, Negin Farsad, and I'm going to be doing the adult parent version of a wet t-shirt contest, which is I will probably just be nervously watching my daughter go into a shallow pool. So that's the equivalent, and that's what I'll probably be doing as this episode airs, for just a quick little jaunt with my daughter and my parents, and hopefully it'll be a delightful time for one and all. But don't worry, we still have a tremendous episode lined up for you. We have this really great conversation coming up with Roy Wood Jr. and Jay Jurden. We discuss a $6.5 million banana, and that's all you need to know to enjoy. Here we go. We are going to get into the world of art, and specifically conceptual art. And to do just that, I'm joined by the wonderful host of the CNN show, Have I Got News for You? He's also got a new special out on Hulu in January. It is the incredible Roy Wood Jr. Hey, Roy.
Yes. Hello.
I am also joined by a comedian. He's on tour. You should look up his dates. It's fabulous to see him live. You've also seen him on The Tonight Show. He is so funny. He is Jay Jurden. Hey, Jay.
Hello.
All right, so the artist Maurizio Catalan just sold his latest piece for a hefty sum. It is a banana duct taped to a wall 160 centimeters from the floor, titled Comedian. And the piece sold for $6.5 million. Do you think that makes sense?
This is the same banana that was snatched off and eaten, correct?
Yeah, the person who bought it snatched it off and ate it, yeah.
Yeah. We talked about Trump earlier. Hell yeah, it makes sense. Make your money, conceptual artists. Make your millions of dollars from a dirty banana that's been on a wall with blue duct tape. Make your money.
I'll say this. I'm more cool with this than the NFT trend that was happening a few years ago.
Oh, God.
I am more content
agreed.
with someone taping a banana to a wall and convincing you it's of value. And if you decided it's of value too, then we both have met our needs. That's way better than someone going, let me sell you a picture you can't touch, but it's only yours. But everybody can see it, but it belongs to you. Oh, sorry, somebody just copy-pasted you. But it's yours. That I do not agree with. I think it is wild. I think artists are more brilliant than Trump when it comes to tricking people and getting them to pay for stuff that they know damn well ain't worth no $6.5 million. I can make a fake one. We were talking on a previous episode about that influencer who sued another one for stealing her vibe, even though you can't really concrete prove what a vibe is. When I tell you, I would be taping everything in the produce department to a wall and putting that shit on Etsy and see what it hit for. You can buy my banana tape to the wall for $5,000, sir. I ain't gonna even hit you over the head for $6 million.
You getting away with highway robbery? It's $5,000. And again, you gotta buy the banana now. It's only $5,000.
Could I interest you in some zucchini gorilla glue to a piece of plywood?
Can I tell you the weird thing was that it came out, this piece appeared at Art Basel in 2019, which means that this banana has been changed out, because there's photos of the banana at this point of sale, and it was not a decrepit banana. And so that's the other funny thing to me, is that the banana required upkeep. And then he needed not one, but multiple pieces of duct tape. Okay? That's one thing.
I'm crazy, because in my mind, this description, this lore is making it more immersive and a more active piece for me, because I think the price is jumping up because it has probably been since 2019. This is kind of insane. We are talking about it. Someone could have snatched it off. No one did. In my head, as a person who has seen some conceptual art, I don't know if it's 6.5 million worth, but it is kind of crazy that we're talking about it.
So the Vogue editor, Dodi Kazanjian, said there's something very deep in what Maurizio does. So the veneer of it might look like a banana, but there's something else always at the core of what he's saying. And I think we are illustrating that there is something he's saying, because now 5 years later, and by the way, when the banana came out, it was so fucking popular, they had to move the banana to another area because it was taking up too much attention from the other pieces of art that were on display.
I know a fellow like that.
So I feel like so whatever it is he's saying, he's also maybe saying everyone's an idiot for paying this much money, or the art world has gone out of its mind, or you know what I mean? Or at least this is better than NFTs. Like whatever. There is something that he's saying at the core of this.
Every now and then something does break the form. It is lampooning and mocking in a very Emperor's New Clothes sort of way. And to me, once again, I don't know if it's like 6.5 million. It is an established and a long existing art piece. In my head, if this was lasting 20 years, I see a heftier price tag. 5 years, I don't know. But there is something to the fact that they were replacing this banana. There were also people who were still coming to see it. It's like, have you ever seen a line? And like you go, I really want to get in that line. I don't even know what's in that.
Cronuts, New York City.
Right,
I gotta get to
and
that
I still
line.
can't do it.
Yeah.
And I fantasize about the cronuts. I still don't. I just don't understand how. But like I see stories like this, and I just feel like maybe I'm just stupid and uncultured. Like because the art world has a way of making you feel like you just don't get it, and you don't understand the plane from which. Or maybe they're crazy. I'm not. This is one of those situations where I'm not sure if I'm crazy or they crazy. Somebody crazy.
You're not wrong, because I think this is why art is fascinating, is because Roy's reaction is 100% correct, but these people's interest and fascination is such a human inclination. So many humans have to say, wait a second, what is this? What's going on here? Because the first person who looked at it went, someone look at this banana. It's the Kevin Hart joke. Look at this. Someone look at this. And then those people lined up and said, why are you looking at that? Someone put it up there. Are you going to take it down? I can't take it down. It's guarded off. What is it? Someone wrote about it. It's vibey.
Now that said, part of the story, I think, is I have a particular feeling about the buyer, which is that fucking guy is nuts.
Yes.
Because he spent $6.5 million on an object that he could have bought for less than $1. And
to eat it and show that he could take it.
Which makes me feel all kind of terrible about society. Whatever. Anyway, I have a lot of feelings about that buyer.
But the artist, to Roy's point, is a marketing genius. He said, I can't come up off it for less than 6.5. What? I can't come.
How's that the number?
By the way, he got like
It means
an
a lot to
over
me.
$1 million offer in the early days that he rejected.
And he said, and you know what he said, nah, not enough.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder, why am I doing stand-up comedy in Vancouver in February? Why do I want to go do that?
Go see Roy at JFL
Yeah,
Pro.
it's
Vancouver.
like whatever. I'm not even trying to sneak a promo in. Like I'm trying to figure out a way out of it. Like
You should put the banana up in the microphone stand and have them watch it and go see.
Bitch, what if I did that at a comedy show? I remember I took humanities in college my freshman year, and our final exam, our teacher walked in and put one of those Roman gladiator helmets. He played a radio that was playing like a 1930s radio show, and then played a record player, and then he just went, write what you see and leave your paper in the basket, and walked out the class, bro. That's what I need to start doing at my comedy shows. I gotta see.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
Write the
in
jokes
my head,
you want me
I went,
to hear.
Truly, in my head, I went, okay, Western masculinity, war, and reflection of war through media. And I was like, I see what he's trying to do.
No.
But I'll justify it. Because if you give people enough space, they'll be like, oh, I know exactly what this banana represents.
Right.
Yeah, maybe that's what
All
it
right.
is.
Of course it's connected to NFTs because the banana is the counterpoint to the ape, and everyone bought the apes, but bananas are consumed by apes, but they actually provide sustenance, and I
Jay,
need
you did
potassium.
it. You did it. There it is. Folks, are you spending $6.5 million on a banana duct taped to a wall? Hit us up
Please,
and let
come
us
to
know.
one of our shows.
And,
if you doing that.
instead, yeah, could you support comedy, which is a lot harder? All right. That, my friends, is the end of the show. What a fucking delightful conversation the three of us had. My God. And I would love for the people of Fake the Nation to be able to follow you and all the wonderful things that you do. Jay Jurden, where do they do that?
They can do that at JJurden, JAYJURDEN, on all social media, including Blue Sky, even though it feels like it's for toddlers.
Roy Wood Jr., where are you?
I'm everywhere. So at symbol in front and then .com on the back side if you like to kick it old school. I think I'm going to get a Reddit page and just create a Reddit community too. I'm just going to do whatever I want now. There's no more rules. I'm on LinkedIn. Follow me there. I don't even know what you're supposed to do on LinkedIn. They say that's the future.
But let us remind listeners that they can see your special on Hulu in January.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they can see you hosting Have I Got News for You on CNN when it comes back in February. Allow me to do your promo work for you, Roy. You know what? Let's take a quick break so we can hear from our sponsors. And when we come back, there's another great conversation. And we are back and we're ready for the next topic. And we have joining with us the excellent Millie Tamarez and Grace Lynch, who joined to discuss an ethical quandary. It's about a woman and her husband and sleeping around a little bit. And I don't know, there's a lot of ethics to consider here. Enjoy the talk. And next topic, we have an ethical question to address here. And to do that, I am joined by comedian and podcast co-host of the Go Touch Grass Pod. It's Millie Tamarez. Hey, Millie.
Hey.
I'm also joined by podcast and managing editor of ACAST Creative Studios, the one and only Grace Lynch. Hey, Grace.
Hi.
So, okay. There was this note to the ethicist that I thought was so interesting, and I had to share it with you guys. Here, I'm going to share it, and then we can react to it. She writes, I am a healthy, physically fit woman in my late 50s, married for more than 2 decades. My marriage remains fun, engaging, compassionate, and passionate. We still have very active sex life. Our children are grown and thriving, while my husband has been unfaithful a few times over the years. Many years ago now, I chose forgiveness and relationship work. I have, however, developed a menopausal sex drive that has increased rather than withered, and a rather deep desire to experience sex with one other man before I die or get too old. Now, I was going to just stop it there, but then the rest of this, her little thing also seemed interesting, so I'm just going to share this really quick. This man would have to be someone I don't know and will never see again. I have researched a plan as follows. 1, fly to a major coastal city. 2, hire an escort from a reputable service and have sex with him in a nice hotel. 3, fly home and get an STI screening, although I'd obviously have practiced safe sex. I have never been unfaithful to my husband. In fact, I had sex with only 2 other men before him. This desire is definitely not the result of latent hostility for as long ago indiscretions. And she goes on to say, I do have 2 opportunities to But according to my husband, I have 2 opportunities to even the score with impunity. Nevertheless, I don't want him to know because I don't want to hurt him. She goes on to say, to be clear, I'm not interested in an open marriage, polyamory, or anything among those lines, nor would I use a dating or hookup app. Escorts from services whose prices are in the $1,500 range are well vetted, and I don't feel like I'd be sexually exploiting a 35-year-old, willing, well-paid man. What do you think?
I'm all for it, baby. I think she's planned it out really well. I feel like you got to get your lick back, as they say. Like, like lick, whatever. But it's like, honey, for as long as we're able to do it, women, this is a free country for now. I say go for it.
Okay, I'm also all for her going for it, but what was your reaction to the escort service plan? I was like, just get on field. I don't know
But
why she's not doing an app. Just do an app.
But
Yeah,
she
she
says
really,
like
really specifically didn't want to do an app. Like,
I can't figure out why. It
I
just
mean,
is
it was
it the
complicated.
electronic like paper trail situation? Is there something about that?
I feel like she might be, because she's not in the game, like, or she's never been in the app game or the dating app game. She doesn't know how easy it is
It would be so
to
easy.
to get a guy to sleep with you from online. Especially when you're on vacation. I have a method. I won't, you know what I mean? Again, have I gotten work done? Listen, I have a whole method of vetting and all that stuff, of sleeping with a guy on vacation. Very easy, very simple. But sometimes, sometimes you can walk to the takeout restaurant. This is a very New York reference. Like, you can walk to the takeout reference, but sometimes you'll pay $40 for it to be delivered right at your door, with and it's going to deliver well and travel well and all that stuff.
I mean,
so.
her description sounds a little bit like the movies, right? Like, I'm gonna go and there's gonna be this high class escort. I'm gonna pay $1,500 and this is what it's gonna look like. Like, she sounds like she's just describing a film,
A fantasy.
Yeah. And I don't know the first thing about finding an escort. I think it would, right, like, to my mind, an app would probably be like the easier thing. But yeah, I don't even know how you find an escort.
Well, I will say, as someone who has, like, I mean, I don't do it that often, because the likeliness of it being not enjoyable for a woman is high. Like, you're kind of at the whims to the generosity of the person, versus if you pay for the service.
It's about you.
It's about you and your experience and your
Interesting.
That makes
pleasure,
sense.
versus, like, you're kind of tossing it up, and it could maybe work that you randomly match up with someone who is concerned about if you have pleasure or not. But, like, again, when we're like, to tie back to the marriage gap, in another conversation we were having about why women aren't getting married, it's like, society hasn't really, like, shaped men so much to think about women's pleasure and women's sexual experiences at the same. It's like, and even in this letter, it's like, oh, I'm surprised that in my menopause I still have a sex drive. Yeah, because media made by men has made it seem like we're gonna be shrill and drill, when actually maybe it's argued that sexual desire actually goes up when you get older, because you know what you're doing and whatever. So that's why I'm just like, you know what, pay for it, and then at least that guy's gonna be doing whatever you want,
Well,
and your terms, and he won't cross any lines or boundaries.
yeah, I can see that being like the attractive option. I think the other big issue that comes up here is the ethical dilemma around her not wanting to tell her husband. Now, how do you feel about that? Like, he basically said she has 2 hall passes or whatever. So I don't know why she wouldn't tell him. It's like she doesn't want to answer questions after she comes. She doesn't want to know the whens and why. She doesn't want to have to
also, like,
explain. I don't know.
Are their finances completely separate? Is he not going to see this? Like, she says, I travel for work, so it won't raise suspicion. But, like, I don't know. That just seems like there's a lot of ways in which someone could find out, or at least get an inkling when you withdraw $1,500 from an ATM for no foreseeable reason. I think that she should tell him, just so that he has to sit in that discomfort.
Ooh.
You think she should tell him, or you think she shouldn't?
I don't think that she's obligated to tell him, but I don't see the problem in telling him, considering she's had to work and carry all of his indiscretions in the past and did that herself. I don't see why, if he's been so liberal as to say, like, you have 2 hall passes, that she can't acknowledge that, in fact, one at least was used, and then that could be a new chapter as well.
I kind of feel like this is her revenge of, like, he doesn't know what I'm doing. There's an air of mystery that he can always think that she, like, is sleeping around.
Maybe I didn't.
Yeah, it's like
it's
ooh,
always hanging in the air.
It's always hanging in the air, and I feel like that's also, like, what's sexy and fun about it.
Right.
And I feel like, this is the same conversation that people have, like, there are men that I know and that are related to that are serial cheaters and serial things, and like they just get with, and I'm just like, why don't you just enter into an open marriage or an open relationship where there's an agreement where, and it's like, because the fun is
The hiding.
the ooh la, la, la. So I feel like that's part of the fantasy of like, I'm gonna tell my husband I'm going on a business trip, and then I'm gonna go to a really nice fucking hotel, and I'm gonna meet a sexy 35-year-old, and he's gonna blah blah blah, and it's also like, if you get it from Field or something, it's probably not gonna last longer than 2 minutes. So.
Yeah, my one feeling though is like she's been thinking about this for so long and she has it all planned out so thoroughly. My concern with her is that anything she does is actually really going to be disappointing. Like everything will disappoint her. It will not be the vision that she has in her head.
I also worry about this like whole thing of like, I just have to do this one time. Like to me, this feels like opening a can of worms of like things she's going to continue to want, especially if it's disappointing and she's like, well, that didn't really go as planned and I still have these desires, I still want to keep going, which again is why I'm going to push for the app, just so that there's spice of life variety. She might have her eyes open to a different option of something she wasn't considering.
Wait, this is the premise. Actually,
I've been sitting on this for so long.
Yeah,
I feel like she's not doing the app because she wants it to be secret. She doesn't want anybody seeing her on the app.
Non-disclosure.
Oh, right. Because then,
Okay.
I feel like this is the premise of Nicole Kidman's Baby Girl.
Oh, I still haven't seen it, but yes.
Oh, but it's basically this. But
Run, don't walk.
yeah. Run, don't walk. But also, yeah, I just feel like that is, I mean.
But I also think, like, having not seen the movie, but like, it's an intern, right? I think part of the appeal there, which is not something this woman's talking about, is that, like, she's being desired voluntarily by someone, a younger man, as opposed to like, you know, which I do see the appeal in that, where you're like, I'm at a bar, I was hit on, you know what I mean? Like that sounds fucking cool. Like, but like, I don't know. She's just almost like, it's like, she's just very surgical. Like I need this penis to go into my vagina. Like that's what I need, you know? And it's like a little like, I'm not sure if she's identified the feeling she's trying to achieve.
As someone who's been single, like lives in New York City, all that stuff, dated in New York City for all these years, like I think it's a hard, important lesson to learn that men can disappoint you in all kinds of ways, and that you're gonna be, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like she probably like just hasn't had that experience of being disappointed in those ways, and she needs to get a taste of that. And like, you know, like I'm not gonna say just men, but it's just like just life. Like you can't particularly plan things out in this way. And you know, sometimes, again, as someone who's like had these vacation dalliances, sometimes it works out and it's really fun and there's chemistry and all that stuff, but sometimes it's not. And that's part of like being a human being, is understanding that like you're like, to your point again, it's not just surgical. Like there's somebody else, even if you pay for it, even if whatever, like it might not go 100% your way.
Folks,
I really want to know if she does it.
Oh, I know. I know. Can we get a follow-up letter to the ethicist, please? Folks, let me know. What do you think? What is the ethical quandary as you see it, or is there none? I'm all ears. All right, my friends, that is the end of the show. Oh my gosh, what a great time I had speaking to the two of you. I would love for the people of Fake the Nation to be able to follow you and all the wonderful things that you do. Grace, where do they do that?
Oh, damn. That's an incredible question. I've actually taken the year off of social media.
Wow.
I like have accounts because you got to look at stuff for work and, you know, stay relatively tapped in. But right now I'm not on the interwebs. So I guess you can follow shows that are made by Wonder Media Network and or Acast Creative.
Folks, definitely do that. Grace has very, very many talents to share with you. Millie, where do they follow you?
Yes, I'm the opposite. I'm plugged all the way in, baby. You can follow my podcast, Go Touch Grass, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcast, or at Go Touch Grass Pod on any social channels. You can follow me, Millie _Tamarez, on Instagram and TikTok, and at Millie Tamarez on Twitter, on Blue Sky. Bitch, I'm on Red Note. I'm on Lemonade. I don't know. We must divest. We must diversify the portfolio. I'm on everything. Follow me on Venmo. Send me money. Do your thing. Thank you so much for having me, Negin.
And that is it for the show, my friends. What an excellent show it was, and what fun I had talking to those people. I just want to thank all of you for listening to Fake the Nation. We'll be back next week with a regular episode of Fake the Nation. Until then, I want to thank our wonderful producer, Andrew McGuire. Thanks to everyone at Hegum. Thanks to Gaby Alter for our theme music. You can reach us at fakethenationpodcast@gmail.com with any ideas, questions, just for any reason at all, really. And otherwise, we'll be back in your earballs next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.